give it everything today?
Kind of, yeah. But yeah, I was leading out people, so yeah, people can rent me. Olympics, I think, yeah, for me was a big thing. When I took the Olympics, then I realized also like, wow, Greg, you have to really enjoy this.
Coming from Canada, we'd always hear about, the Giro it's like the longest race, it's the hardest race on the women's calendar. What's so nice about riding here is like all the people, and it's been so fun. I think, yeah, that's what a beautiful part about cycling and the community and this event.
Good evening, everybody. How are we? Oh, yes. Can I back this up, please? This is the most mind-blowing thing I have ever drunk. Tomato champagne. How posh is that? Woof. Hey, if anybody likes it, give me a woof. There we go. Anyway, yes, I did say woof. Welcome. I hope you're all having an amazing day, are we? Like absolutely glorious, life-affirming shizzle this, isn't it? And we have a gorgeous continuation of our day now with two superstars of this sport and of humanity in general. First of all, please welcome to the stage the winner of 2 stages of the Tour de France, wearer of the yellow jersey for 11 stages, Olympic champion, men's Paris-Roubaix champion. It's Greg van Avermaet. Woo, woo, woo. Woof. Who gave me a woof? I love it. I love it. Woof, woof. Welcome. Take a little seat, Greg. I think you're here. And to join us on stage, we have the 3-time Canadian national champion, winner of a stage of the Vuelta, and also winner of Paris-Roubaix, and the best dancer, hands down, of the men's and women's peloton. It's Alison Jackson. Can I get a woof? Woof, woof. I'm gonna come over here to give you a hug, my love. I'll let you get up first. I mean, I just saw you in my tent, but I'll give you a hug anyway. Welcome, welcome. How are we enjoying it so far, lady and gent?
Really good, yeah. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah?
It's been wonderful so far, and I think, yeah, we're really lucky with the weather, I think, and that makes it everything even a little bit better. But yeah, so far so good. Super nice to ride and super nice food. So perfect weekend for me.
Were you both nervously checking all the weather apps like I was in the days running up to this, Alison?
No, not at all. Just whatever it is, it's going to be as it's going to be. But I did look and I thought, like 20 degrees looks like it'll be quite warm. But then now I'm used to Spanish weather and I came up and I was quite cold. So my adaptation is from being a Canadian has downgraded a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I think we discovered the trick to warming up last night, didn't we? The closer you are to the front of the stage under this tent, jumping up and down warms you up no end. Greg, you say you're really enjoying the riding, even though you were roundly beaten in the King of the Mountain Strava today.
Yes.
What? Where are you now sitting in the Strava? Joint 5th, I think, with Taylor. Is Taylor here?
Taylor is not here.
Taylor's not
He's
even
probably,
here for
He's
this
probably
moment.
sleeping from the effort.
Did you give it everything today?
Kind of, yeah. But yeah, I was leading out people, so yeah, people can rent me for a certain pool. And,
okay, that's
what I did actually today. But no, it was actually cool to spice up things a little bit. And yeah, I'm still a racer, so I love to do some stuff like don't like boring rides, so it's cool to go a little bit faster. And yeah, it was quite some excitement in our group to take the fastest time. And yeah, I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, I love that. Is Pedro here? There he is. Can we have a little cheer, please, for our new King of the Mountains on Strava? Give me a woof. Woof, woof. Who's the dog? Yeah, you've got the best lead-out man, really, don't you? Alison, can I ask you, fresh off the back of the Giro d'Italia, the most mountainous Giro that we've ever had in the women's race, were you in every single attack, or did it just look that way?
No, basically, yeah, actually. We did that one go because we knew it was going to be a sprint day, but otherwise, we had the big mountain days and I would be at the back. And then all the other days I was trying to be out at the front.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? How was it?
I mean, we're really happy with our team performance. So it's a new team for me this year, and just trying to build the program into something better and better. So we had a few top tens, close to a win, and always a part of the action, which for me is the fun part. Yeah, I think we can be happy with what we accomplished.
I mean, it was amazing to watch. It was an absolutely incredible race. I'm curious from your standpoint how things feel within women's cycling right now. Like, I've covered women's cycling for 10 years, so since the advent of the Women's World Tour. So I've seen how much change we've had and how much progress we've had. And yet I think it's a really good sign of where we are, that the question I'm asked most often about women's cycling is why we're not further forward and why we don't get to see more women's racing. And my point is always still that it's also important to celebrate the incredible athletes we have, the incredible racing that we have. What's the sense within the women's peloton as to the speed of change and the speed of momentum?
Well, I also raced in the era where, I mean, there was no TVs.
Yeah.
There was no TVs. No, it's not that far. But
She looks really good for her age, doesn't she?
so, I mean, I've also, with you, I've seen such a progression, and also even in the depth of support and science, salaries and things within women's sport, which allows women to stick in the sport for longer, invest more in themselves, and then everyone is getting faster, better, stronger. So then I think that changes the dynamic of the race, and it makes it, also more exciting, faster. We have a lot of different winners. So it makes the racing pretty exciting. I mean, even if I think of the Giro, my first Giro, at that time it was on during the men's tour. And coming from Canada, we'd always hear about, the Giro it's like the longest race. It's the hardest race on the women's calendar. But it was a mystery because you would see nothing of it, just maybe the results. And you didn't realize how hot it was, how long it was, how really hard it was, or that every team, no one had buses. You're driving in camper vans in 40 degrees from
All
one
deck chairs
race
out
to the
front.
next. And also to win the whole 10 days, it was 1,000 euros. It was crazy. And now,
I'm sorry, can we let that settle just a minute? 1,000 euros for the top prize. Yeah.
for 10 days of smashing racing.
100 euros a day. Yeah.
For some,
For the winner.
There's a lot of kids now, even teammates of mine, colleagues, that don't even know that. And they've been able to come from juniors into well-developed programs where you can trust the structure, you can trust that there's good people, good management, that want you to become a better athlete. The conversations are positive. It's not it's such a cutthroat or like demeaning culture even. So that has all changed and improved. And I mean, it's great that these kids don't know really what it took to suffer through the Giro. So I'm also just happy with how things are progressing. But I really think that the fans want to see more. Our product in our races are dynamic and fast from the start. We have a good thing to entertain the masses if only they would just show it. Yeah.
I have to say, and this is not me being biased here, but the whole issue is around the race organisers and how much coverage that they show. Like, I know our team want to show every kilometre possible. So hopefully that'll be the next phase of change. But it is an amazing atmosphere right now within women's cycling. And if any of you have been to any of the women's races, like the Tour de France Femme of X-Swift last year was one of the best afternoons of my entire life. And that was after I suffered all the way, most of the way up the Col de la Madeleine beforehand. The atmosphere at the top of that mountain at Saint-François was unreal. So if you get the chance, I would urge you. It is soul-filling stuff. Greg, from women's cycling, which is growing, which is booming right now, which is amazing, you've made the transfer into gravel racing, which is, I mean, a bit more common, I guess, amongst ex-pros now, but you've gone a step further and brought your own team to the mix, haven't you? What was that about?
Yeah, I just wanted to not be alone in a room. I think, yeah, it seems to be quite boring in the beginning. I was like thinking, like, yeah, I do my own gravel, a privateer, find my own sponsors, do some events. But then I was like fast realizing, like, if I end up somewhere else, booking my own flight, sitting in the hotel and waiting for the race, it's going to be quite boring. So,
Is this the genuine reason?
yeah, kind of, yeah.
So you bought yourself a team of mates.
Yeah, something like that. And I also want to kind of support a little bit like the young guys. I think it's cool to support them with some nice material, try to cover some expenses, and also living their dream. I was trying to focus on people from 24, 25 years old. We didn't make it to the professionals yet, or like lose the chance to get professional, but still are really passionate about cycling. They still work or sometimes already. So that kind of people that are really liking it, and they could join me on the trip, and I can share some advice. And of course, the sponsors that we had and the material was really nice also. So it's kind of a cool project, and it's also growing. It's not big, but I'm quite busy with it. You know, when the tires are empty in the stock, I have to order them, and
Really?
it goes pretty fast. And then they're demanding also. They ask a lot of stuff, and for me, it's also kind of a cool side project where I can also learn a lot of stuff how it really works. You know, because as a pro cyclist, I would not say you're like in a fauteuil or in a nice bus and you don't know what's happening around. But it's nice to see the stuff that the management do, and what it takes to prepare a little bit to make a team.
Why did you, like, when you think of how I introduced you on stage earlier, that's only the headlines of your career, the 2 stages of the Tour de France, the 11 days in the yellow jersey, the Olympic gold, the Paris-Roubaix, all the rest of it. One of the finest classics riders of your generation, all of the hard work, dedication and effort that went into that. When you thought, I'm going to hang up my wheels and I'm going to retire from this sport, why did you think, nah, I'm going to keep racing, but in something else? Did you not think maybe take some time off?
Not really, because I made a decision because I could not perform anymore. Actually, I felt I could not reach my highest level anymore. And I could not win, so it was not a decision by the heart. It was more with the head. And when I was riding today, I still like to do that kind of stuff. But sometimes you also have to be smart and stop at the right way, I think. But I stopped also with the idea to still enjoy riding my bike. I also do some triathlon. I discover different sports, and I was playing football until 18 years old. So in general, just a sportsman, and I love to be out. It gives me the best vibe, and it gives me the best feeling afterwards. So for me, it's kind of my drug. And it would be strange also for me when you're 38 years old, you've been passionate by sport forever, and then you stop and don't do sports anymore. So it was never really in my head to really stop. But of course, the professional level is such a demanding thing, and I'm also happy that I don't have to do that again, because it's quite hard also, and you just have to sacrifice a lot of things. And now I have more like an open agenda. I can put my own agenda, and I can spend some time with my family at the right points. So it's a good life. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's great to see. And it's really fun to see that gravel scene growing as well. I'm curious, and I'm always curious when I speak to professional athletes of any sport, how much, because you've continued, you've kept with the racing. So there's not been a stop. There's not been a moment necessarily of, now I'm going to look back on my career, because it's kept continuing. With each of your big milestones and your big achievements, do you feel like you were able to fully appreciate them as you went? Like, what was your biggest moment of success, do you think, that you fully felt it during your career on the road?
Olympics, I think, for me was a big thing. I think I really enjoyed it because my career was really long with small steps.
Yeah.
You know, I came quite fast, had big results, but it took a really long time to really make the big step to one of the best riders of the world. And that also kept me realizing that it was not that easy to reach. So when I took the Olympics, then I realized also, like, wow, Greg, you have to really enjoy this, because this is not normal.
Yeah.
And you worked, of course, really hard for it. And that kind of thing, it was a gift also to me, because you see a lot of young riders directly winning big things, and then they maybe not realizing that, you know, how hard it is to get that kind of stuff. And for me, of course, on the journey, you would love to have it directly. But yeah, I'm super happy with my career and I'm super happy with my achievements. And yeah, even on the Monday after that kind of big wins, I was really realistic. And I just said to myself, yeah, you're living your dream actually, and you're really enjoying what you're doing. So try to make the best of it. That's how it went. So yeah, I'm really, yeah, that's what I said again. I'm really thankful because I'm starting, I was 18 years old. I was good on riding my bike. But I saw also like guys like Johan Bisset, Van Petegem, what kind of my idols passing. And I was like, yeah, if I can be one time part of it, it would be great. And then you grow, of course, into the kind of racing. You do that kind of big races, Flanders first time, Tour de France first time. But you cannot imagine you're gonna win it. And then, yeah, it happens. So it's something, yeah, something super, super special. And yeah, I really enjoyed the whole time of it.
Loved it, and loved the gold bike that followed as well. I thought that was fully committing. Brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, it was nice to have it. I don't like to show off sometimes, but I was like, yeah,
Gonna double down in the
if I can
goals.
have it once, I can handle it, and I'm really proud of it. So it's super cool to get those gadgets, and yeah, of course the partners that are making it. It's super nice to have that.
Speaking of celebrations of big moments, Alison, I feel like one of maybe the most beautiful celebrations that you might have had in your life was after Paris-Roubaix when you came to Amsterdam, and myself and Rianne, where's Rianne? There we are, took you out and treated you to bitterballen in Amsterdam, which is probably the most underwhelming piece of food that you'd ever eaten, I think.
Well, I was really motivated that morning. Rian came to me and said, if you win, we're taking you for a snack. And I was like, all right.
A snack, not a slap-up meal, not a Michelin-starred sit-down, a Dutch fried meat snack. And it worked, Alison. You're easily bought.
Snacks.
Will win for snacks, Alison Jackson. Talk to me about Paris-Roubaix, please, because that was just... So full confession, Paris-Roubaix is my favourite race in the entire world. I think it is just the most beautiful, the most chaotic. I'm presuming most people here follow cycling in some ways. All right, does everybody understand what Paris-Roubaix is as a race? I don't mean that to be patronising, but I know that people aren't always here fully knowing it. Lots of nodding of heads. Just very briefly, the one-day classic, the cobbles classic. It's a flat race, so they don't have the mountains that separate the climbers from everybody else. It is just section after section of chaos. And I find watching it really anxiety-inducing because at every single sector, I'm talking to you like you don't know, but you might not know watching it how scary it is. Every single sector, it's just like boom, boom. It's like pinball. There are riders that are out of the race, out of the race, out of the race. And it really is one of those that is the survival of the strongest that gets to the end. And your win was so magical, Alison, because of the way that you attacked and dared and kind of went against form in terms of how you're supposed to do these things. If you go on the attack, you're supposed to conserve energy, stay behind, hide in the ways that other people do the work. And I feel like with you, it was just full commitment. If I'm going to have a chance to sprint in that Roubaix velodrome, I'm going to go off the front. Talk me through that, please, because it was just beautiful.
I mean, I think when you're racing, you have to be able to follow instinct. And so, I mean, when the break went and there's 20 people, I mean, this is a good situation. But I know that everyone in their ear from their DS is hearing, don't do any more than the next person. Mm-hmm. So then I think, okay, if I set the tone, this is the pace and this is how hard I'm going to pull, everyone at least is going to give 10% more. Mm-hmm. If I start giving less, everyone gives less, then it's a big negative cycle and we will stop.
Which happens so often though, and probably more often than not, and it's so frustrating to watch, and that's why I loved it.
So yeah, I just figured, in order to win anything, you have to first believe it yourself and back yourself or have confidence in the chance. And also, I mean, bike racing, you have to risk it to win. So, I mean, for us, I mean, it was the third edition. We didn't really know how maybe generally our women's race would play out. We have some maybe examples from the men's side that really people who go in an early break end up quite far. And I mean, if you can get a top 10 in this race, it would be awesome or whatever. So, I mean, I just rode, with my heart and also enjoying that, we could, try something. And then, I mean, the race has chaos. There's crashes in our group that cut the group in half. There's crashes behind that kept the gap further apart. And even in my ear, I'm hearing my director being like, "This is not the place for you. You should be back behind, like, riding like as a leader or whatever." But
So what, you were too much in the front, they were telling you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What do you do in that moment? Do you answer? Do you just... do you know what I mean? I think I'm okay. I think I know what I'm doing.
No, I really had a lot of self-belief. Like, I mean, they don't know what my legs feel like. They don't, feel the what the group dynamic is. So no, I just backed myself fully. We're gonna be a part of the action, and then But I remember 5K to go. Looking back, there's a bend before the I guess last sector 2, and we can see the group behind. So that, I mean, they had 10 seconds, and you think like, oh, I've been out here for whatever 140K, and then we're just gonna lose it in the last 5K.
Yeah.
So I was like, no way this is gonna happen. But then it's also this funny tactic thing where, okay, the group behind thinks, oh, they're almost there, we'll catch them, no problem. But then I just go to the front and pull so hard, and also telling the other girls like, is this how you want it end? And then so then that just creates the next bit of gap. And then when we're in it, I mean, I have our team philosophy for the day was don't think, just do. Like, really follow your instinct, follow your heart. And so then also, that's what happened in the velodrome. You just, I mean, I'm not thinking about what I have to do, whatever. I'm just like feeling what it is and going full gas. And then crossing the line and knowing that it's yours, that you own it. Yeah, that's your win is pretty cool.
Oh, I love that whole talk through, Alison. I'm feeling the sort of the momentum of that race all over again as you're describing it. When you were in that velodrome, did you feel any pain anywhere in your body? Did you feel like I'm pushing against my limits here? Or is it all in your head at that stage and you're just giving it everything to pull yourself towards that line?
I think, I mean, also when you ride the break with 20 people, you kind of have this like an easier pace actually, and you get to choose your line. So I feel like the body feels at the end were pretty good. But I mean, you're not thinking about anything about your body. You're just like thinking of win. Yeah, and it's also just like you're out of your mind and you're just in your body feeling like trust you. All the training that you've done up to this point, like, all of that is for this moment. I mean, we're not training for easy, we're training for hard. And so when you get in the moments, you're ready.
I love that. I love it. It was most beautiful, joyful when you crossed the line and you thought, snacks. Speaking of snacks, or at least refreshments, we've got a barman here. Adam Blythe, welcome to LeBlanc Joyride Festival, Isle of Wight. Love it. Oh, these are cocktails.
Yeah, I haven't got a microphone, but everyone's drinking a bit of Adam Blythe. Down the back. It's lovely.
No, I don't think I am. I think this is an Orla Chennaoui.
Apart from you.
All right, fine. Yeah, do we have an extra microphone for Adam? Are we sharing mics? Do we have one? We do. Dee's got one for you.
Welcome. God, the tension.
That is good.
Thank you, yeah.
Woo, woo, woo.
I think it's on, which is great.
Is it on?
Hopefully.
I'm not sure. Adam, welcome. Adam, long-time teammate, of course, of Greg's, and friend as well. Before I get to you, I want to ask Greg about his Paris-Roubaix win, since it is my obsession.
That's fine. Just remember, I taught Greg everything he knows. Everything.
Tell me how you taught him to win Paris-Roubaix then, Adam.
Well, I'll let Greg answer that and see if he gets it right.
Talk me through your Paris-Roubaix win. How much of all of it you remember?
Quite well, I think, yeah. It's something that riders, surprisingly, I think we remember a lot of things. Not even only the big moments, but like stupid stuff across the road that's happening. When you start thinking about, you see a lot of stuff. Some people ask me, "You saw me?" And I say, like, I saw you on the next to the
people
road.
by the side of the road?
Yeah, beside of the road. So
I'm always shocked by that.
That was me.
Adam didn't have that feeling because it was a little bit more a block than me.
100%.
I saw a little bit less.
In the hurt locker.
His eyes were a little bit more closed. But I saw a lot of things. But overnight, Adam's eyes opening more up.
100%.
Through the course of the evening. Yeah.
I remember a lot of things of Roubaix. Actually, it was actually the race went quite wrong. So I had a guy, a friend of me, Oliver Naassen, who touched my derailleur.
Yeah.
So I was shifting over on the first cobblestone section before the Larbre. Came into my derailleur, broke off. So I was standing there. Actually, the point where everybody says everybody has to be in front.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
standing there next to my bike. I said, something's gonna go wrong here, so it's gonna be hard to catch up. But then actually it was a really big team effort. I think some races, of course, you won almost alone because the team could not really help. But at that point, I think everybody did really a big effort to bring me back. We had Jean-Pierre Drucker, we had Mickey Scher, who we also called the giraffe in the team, who helped me.
Why was he? I thought he was the dog.
No, he's a giraffe. He has such a long neck that he could see everything in front of him. So I was always behind, and I just asked him what's happening in front. And because he has such a big giraffe neck, he was always like, "Oh yeah, Greg, they just went away with 5 guys."
I'm sure it was dog. Anyway.
And so that was actually a big, amazing effort by my teammates. So that also Daniel was still there in the
Was he
final.
the dog?
He's a kind of dog, yeah.
Like a poodle. Yeah.
And where am I? so
We had the derailleur incident. You're standing by the side of the road.
we're coming back. So I finally get back after a lot of help of my team. I come back to the front group, and it's also kind of that bad luck helped me also because I was kind of big favorite for that race because I won a lot of races before.
Oi, oi.
And I said to myself, Greg, actually you're not so good anymore. So you spend a lot of energy already. So really try to race like against my nature.
Okay.
That's decisive. So don't do a lot of effort. Just follow and.
This is what I taught him.
Yeah.
This is what I taught him.
To conserve the energy, not right off the front. Yeah.
See where you come out. So it took me also 40, 50K, like really, don't follow any moves. And then, just took the right decisions. And of course, came into the velodrome because I'm always quite sure about my sprint. I try to finish the big races by sprint because most of the time I could do a good sprint in the end. But like Paris-Roubaix is also always special because there's only one race that ends up in the velodrome.
Yeah.
So
and the bell, as soon as that bell rings and you come in.
Yeah, so it's really distracting because.
Is it?
Yeah, for me because when you have a normal finish, you watch like 300, 400, 200. When you start sprinting, you take your position. But there, it's kind of you have to go up a little bit to catch some speed. It's hard to see where's the 200-meter line. You just also have to find a little bit the space, because if everybody goes down, it's hard to find the space to do the full sprint. And then on top of that, because we were really going slow, a group came back to us, like with Moscon, Steven. They just catch up with 300 meters to go. So that was really distracting, and I actually got blocked a little bit with Stibar. And I was 100% sure I could win because I was feeling really strong. But because of that block, I almost lost the race. So it was a tiny bit, but I was really lucky to get over. And
lucky.
The feeling when you win Roubaix, it's amazing. It's a monument, so it's one of my dreams coming true, and it was such a big race. Like for me, it's also one of my favorite races. So I'm super happy that I made it to my Palmer's.
I love it. Can I ask what that feels like for both of you quickly? That feeling of your dream coming true. Like we've all grown up with childhood dreams, haven't we? And for most of us, like those dreams have to change because you're not on the path anymore to realize them. And I've always wondered what that would be like to have that moment of I've got it.
Yeah, it's super special. I had a lot of times third, second, fourth, fifth. I think if you see my careers, I have the most top 10s everywhere in every classic. But if you don't win it, it's a big difference. You can have so many top 10 places, and if you don't really have it on your Palmer, it's a little bit lost. So I think it's really really important that you can finish off races, and every cyclist will say the same. It makes a huge difference to be second or first. in shape. It's actually nothing. In my opinion, everybody has the same. The same legs or the same speed, but yeah, in the result, in the end, it makes a huge difference.
I guess, Alison, it can't have been a childhood dream of yours because it was only the third women's Paris-Roubaix by the time you'd won it, but it's still that realisation of a huge achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, also, I mean, I grew up in a small little farm town, bison ranch, that we didn't think about cycling at all. So it was never in my mind as a dream even to be a professional cyclist. But, I mean, we have done the recon of Paris-Roubaix, and in that velodrome all the time, you like dream like what it would be like to win this, you know? But like you say, a lot of times those dreams just stay as dreams.
Yeah.
And so then I think really for me, when I crossed that line first, it was the feeling of that you could make a dream possible. And that was, that for me, I just would keep thinking about how every time you ride around this and you would pretend, I'm sprinting against my teammates and I'm winning, like dreaming about it. But then this is like real life. I'm actually winning this. Yeah, it's a special feeling for sure.
And I also love that you and your generation are giving that dream opportunity to young girls growing up. Now they can see their older version winning races like that, and they've got that dream to aim for, which is absolutely beautiful. Adam, you know this man very well. What was he like as a teammate?
The most tanned.
The most tanned?
He was always the most tanned. Like, Greg was, like, the top...
Good tan.
No, but, like, it's a thing, like, within cycling, like, you ride along and you're like, damn, that guy's got a good tan. Like, Greg, white socks, white shoes, he looked good all the time, yeah. And before I turned pro, I was a stagiaire in Lotto and Greg was in the team the first year. And Greg, but you were quite young then, I think. I think you were, like, 26, 27 maybe. But Greg was good, but, like... on the verge of becoming really good. And I saw Greg and I was like, damn, that guy, that tan. And I've been chasing that tan ever since. Like, I will never...
Sorry to say, he's still got it.
I don't know what he uses. Like, is it Dove? Like, what is that? Because it is, yeah.
What do you use, Greg? That's not a Belgian tan.
The sun.
The sun.
Freddie's choice.
Yeah, I mean,
Freddie's choice.
Look at him flexing now. Look, he's like showing it off a little bit. He's, yeah.
He was good.
Yeah, he was good.
But Taylor was actually asking me how you call it actually, where you put it, where you actually can. How do you say it?
Like a fake tan.
Tan bed, sunbed.
Sunbed, yeah. If I bought it already, so.
Bought? Do you have one at home?
Yeah, I do it every day.
You don't? Do you? I can't tell if he's been serious or not.
It's not so healthy, but yeah, the tan.
It looks great. Looks great.
You know,
the sunbed in your light grip to keep the tan lines.
Yeah, otherwise I cannot. I cannot say it anymore. So I have to keep my shorts on.
No, but like Greg, for me, when I was growing up, he was like, just like I said, he was young, but he was just starting to be good. And when I first joined, there was him and Gilbert on the team, and Greg was like that guy that was just on the heels of Gilbert. You know, he was like very similar rider, but very different as well. Like I just had a chat with one of my friends then, and we were just chatting about how Greg and Phil were very similar. They were similar but so different, but they were always at the end together in these races. And when Greg came along, it was like, there's a time where it's going to come where he just clicks and it goes. And you could see, for me, like when I was a bike rider, you notice the amazing bits that everyone notices, but it's the little bits below that not everyone sees. And Greg had a lot of that for me. And it was just panache, style, cool, but just how to look around a race a little bit and find his way, and he was exceptional at it. So yeah, I love riding with him, although we didn't ride much together, to be honest. I think like Flanders in BMC in 2013, I think. I think I give you a bottle and then I said bye. And that was about it.
Slid out the bag.
See you later, mate. Good luck.
Yeah, we did quite some races together still. But Adam was also actually the biggest talent of Adam. He could win a lot of races also because actually he won quite some races, but he was quite smart. Like Adam could stay.
Look at his face.
He was smart, I would say it like that. But he always found the spot like where there was no wind, and he was like really good in his bike skills were amazing, and he also like positioning. It was really impressive because that's also the cool thing about cycling. You don't always have to be the strongest to win big races, and that's what he could do really well. And it's also a kind of intellect that you have to have, and also the race feeling. Tactics going on, and that's what he really had a lot. And of course, yeah, this kind of funny part that he still has now, that he's not taking things so serious.
Seriously, yeah.
But that's also his strength, I think. You have to push sometimes also the stress a little bit away to perform.
Greg he mentions that now. I remember 2013 Tour of Qatar.
Yeah, I remember that really
So
good.
Greg just mentioned I was efficient. Boy, was I efficient. So we started this team time trial. And when we started, when I say I was shit, like I had like a 300 watt like threshold. I was terrible.
Was Taylor in this one as well?
Taylor was here as well. Yeah, he did a lot.
He
of the
was
work,
actually he was one of the strongest guys that day.
him and Steve. Jesus, Steve Cummins that day. Anyway, we started this team time trial, and it was Tour de Qatar, day 2. Brent Bookwater, out of nowhere, this American, won the first stage by an attack. So we had the jersey, and we were like, oh shit, we're off last. And I knew I was good in the wind in Qatar, so I could probably run a top 5 overall, but I could not push my own wind for toffee. Like, I was terrible at it. And we started this team time trial, and the order was like something me. And I did one turn. One. I'm not kidding. 14K. I think it was like 14K.
14K and you did one turn.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
wow.
It is. When you do a time trial, you know who's passing. And you're like, yeah, this guy's passed. This guy. So now it's my turn. And I was still waiting for one because he only did one turn, and he was already like, yup. Every time I came back, yup, you're doing great. But when somebody's suffering and he's like, you accept it.
Yeah, okay.
But he's like,
He wasn't even suffering.
yep,
No, I was on my knees.
really good. Keep the pace.
Listen, do you know that guy on the boat was like stroke?
Cox.
I was like that.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
basically I was the cock of the group. So let's face it. So I was at the back, and anyway, I think there was like 8, 9 guys in the team at the time. There was 4 finished. Steve Cummins, Taylor, who did 90% of the work. Greg was like the other 80. And I just sat on the back the whole time. Anyway, I got 4th overall, so happy days. I was great. But after that, I was the best in the team after that for the rest of the week.
That's true. And then
Thank you. That's all right.
that's typical Adam.
He saved so much energy
you cannot.
on the day.
Yeah.
Exactly, Alison.
You cannot
Honestly.
be angry at him. So he comes up with the story after the line already. Hey, lucky I was there, eh? Because some guys drop 1K to go, eh? And you need 5 guys at the finish line. Eh?
Sold it.
Lucky I held on.
Sold it.
Amazing. Guys, we're going to open the floor to questions in a sec, but before we do that, I want to ask you, Alison, about the rest of the season, because you are getting ready for the Tour de France, aren't you? Tour de France fam avec Zwift, and I will always, by the way, and we always should name check Zwift in that, an incredible force for good in women's cycling. The Tour de France fam would be nowhere without it. But what's the plan? What are you thinking? How are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a hard edition, actually. There's not so many sprint days. It's either hilly or big mountains. So not necessarily the best for me. But after this,
You got
actually...
this, girl. You got this. We believe in you. Yeah. You got this.
The fresh voice
Yeah, yeah.
behind while I have to do the work. Yeah.
You can do it.
No, but I mean, we have time to prepare. So actually, I go back to Canada for national championships in 2 weekends. And then we do our prep camp in Boulder, Colorado. Actually, we have some sponsors out there. So it'll be a bit of a fun trip and doing the prep there. And then... yeah, race time. We just bring what you got and do what you can with what you got.
Have you noticed the change by the side of the road? Because as I referred to earlier, that day, it was the penultimate day of last year's stage that went up the Madeleine. Standing by the side of the road then, I've been to see a lot of women's racing over the years, and I've seen the Tour de France Femme. I did not expect the level of festival and celebration that we got that day, and it just I felt really emotional and still do when I think about it. The people who turn out by the side of the road to watch the women's race as a standalone is beautiful. From within the Tour de France fam avec Zwift, do you notice that as you go? I know you're like in the hurt locker, doing your thing, concentrating on tactics and teamwork and everything, but how much of a difference does that make?
Oh no, I mean it's awesome. Our fans in this sport are awesome. When we have our own Paris-Roubaix day, we also had all the fans and I mean they're there for us. They're so excited for the race, and also I mean I say I'm an entertainer on and off the bike. I just love to make people laugh or you know have a good time. So I mean it's super energizing for me, but it's also I mean just part of the fun, noticing boys and girls that are looking up at their next sporting heroes and other people that are just really excited about the bike race and that it's in their country. And I think it'll be really cool this year being on a French team. So being on a French team and riding in France is also super special. And I think we'll just have that many more fans and people out watching the bike race.
Amazing. Tu parles français?
Oui, je fais semblant parler français.
Très bien, ça suffit.
Which I just said I pretend.
Yeah, but you did it very well. Amazing. Right, we're going to open the floor to questions. We have our roving reporter, Matt Stevens, somewhere.
God,
Two, 1, 2,
Oh, there
2,
he is.
testing, Mike, yeah.
he looks good, doesn't he? Look at him.
I'm not actually roving, I'm a static
Oh, yeah,
at the
there
moment.
he is.
But I will be
Are you
roving.
expecting people to come to you, Matt? Is that the
Yeah, if
plan?
that's okay, because I've got my foot's still quite poorly. So if you could rove to me, that would be lovely. No, I will rove, but at my own speed.
Okay. Well, do you want to ask a question first then, Matt? Do you want to start us off?
Blimey, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, you're not standing up, walking around to people. So
No, I'm not. I tell you what, the cocktail that you just served, can you rate it for me?
Oh, well, it's individual actually, this, Matt. So I got
which ones did you get
Alison,
to get?
I got Alison and Greg 2 Adam Blyes.
Nice.
Did you?
Yeah, you're doing the
about
Tour de
you?
France. You're retired, so you can drink up, mate. You don't drink too much, please, because you've got Tour de France stages to win. Orla got an Orla.
I've got an Orla. I
Yeah,
taste good.
to be fair. Also, one story about, I think you were there that year, Greg, in Paris-Roubaix, 2010. Were you there in 2010? We were in the same team? I'm sure we were.
Entirely forgettable, Anna.
Sorry, I am thinking this. But before Roubaix, this is how times have changed. I remember there was a lot of old school guys. There's not many people here that probably know. There was like, on our team, there was Life Host, Stash Gearlinks, and a lot of old school people. And I was really new, like young and really naive. And we went on a ride, cafe ride, and we stopped. We had so many beers the day before Roubaix.
Wow.
And we stopped down. We stopped before it, and I was like, oh, this is unusual.
This is the job for me.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway,
in.
I feel like from that moment on, that set up my career afterwards. I just feel like it went well. But were you there then? I'm sure you were. 2010.
I don't think so. I was there.
Exactly. You had too many beers. You were there.
I know they had the habit to drink beers, but
Yeah, they had. It was the week before. Obviously, the day before it all ended, and they were like, "Let's have a beer."
The day before it all ended.
The day before
Which
Roubaix.
is also the day before it started. Though.
No, but it's like the day before it all ended, really. Because you know what it's like as a Belgian. Like when Roubaix comes, there's like this big.
Okay,
Like
the end of that
it feels
bit.
like the
Yeah,
season
yeah, yeah,
ends.
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
okay, done, and then it takes a week to sort of come around to be like okay.
Paris-Roubaix to race. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
anywhere near done.
they couldn't wait one day longer. Just
No, they couldn't. They couldn't. It's especially not. Especially not. Anyway, sorry. I was just memorising things. Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions?
Got a question.
For Greg or
Stick
Alison?
your hand up. I'll rove to you, but while I'm roving, I was chatting to Sean Yates, another legend who's here, Mr.
Yeah.
Sean Yates. earlier on. And a quite... Wait on together, Mr. Sean Yates. Hope you don't mind me saying, Sean. We were sat having a bit of lunch with Zoe over there as well. And Sean said, do you know what I did when I was an amateur cyclist back in like the 1980s? I said, what did you do, Sean? He said, for 65 days straight, I wore the same pair of socks.
Wow.
That's an absolute fact.
Did you wash-
Without washing them,
I was gonna say, did you wash them on the
65
evening?
days, ladies and gents, just to see what happened. And then
I
he got
bet
one.
nobody tried to stay in your wheel, though, Sean, eh? In
Anyway,
that breakaway
Do you know?
alone.
Right. Do you know Yatesy? Not Matt. You know this. How hard Yatesy is. Like
Yeah,
he's the hardest man in cycling. So he retired. I think it was like 5 years ago. Yatesy, correct me if I'm wrong, But that guy, he's a tree surgeon by trade. So Yates, he fell down from a tree, had a branch that went. He's got a heart. What they called
Pacemaker.
pacemaker. Sorry, Sean. Yeah, he's got a pacemaker in.
Hope you don't mind, Adam, sharing this personal
I'm telling.
information.
No, but this is how hard he is. He fell, and a tree went through his buttock, up through his chest. Anyway, he didn't call an ambulance. He drove himself to hospital in his van and just like,
With a tree
be all
inside
right, guys. He's the hardest man in cycling that's ever existed. He's a legend.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a legend.
And with very dirty socks.
Very dirty. So apparently they snuck me in.
The socks on, brilliant.
Right, we've got a question, and I can
And a
run it
question
to
over
you.
here, lovely, behind you. Behind, that's in front. Yeah.
Thanks, Orla. Thank you so much. It's
look
actually
a bit
getting dark.
confused.
Oh, I can see now. Oh, there we go.
So it's so cool wearing sunglasses. Alison, I just wondered, since you didn't have a background in cycling, what was the prompt? How did you get into it? What was the kickstart to get into cycling?
Yeah, I mean, I was a sport kid growing up. I had a lot of energy out on the Bison Ranch.
No, you had a lot of energy.
I had a lot of energy, and my mom was tired of me in the house and just put me in all the sports, but sometimes back-to-back sports just to do things. But I'm just a yes person. I like to try new things. And when I had went away,
Weren't you a triathlete?
when I had went away to university, I really, I wanted to explore some things. So I really wanted to surf. So I just started, I swam every morning so that if the opportunity came somewhere in Canada that I could surf, I would be ready. And then I...
So you didn't go surfing. You went swimming in case you ever had the chance to surf.
Yeah, because I mean,
oh my God, I love that.
rural Alberta, Canada, it's landlocked. There's no surfing. Anyway, but the dream is there. Okay. Then
Have you ever surfed?
yeah. Oh, now.
Okay, good.
I'll
Okay,
tell
good.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But also I had to become a cyclist before I surfed, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Then I had done a hike in the Himalayas, and so I did some run training. I went back to my family farm, and someone who worked there had left a bike, and so I was like, I'm going to ride to town. And then I'm doing these things, and someone was like, oh, are you training for a triathlon? And I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
And then
I'm in.
Then I joined their little training club for...
And because you've been swimming to learn to surf.
Right, so I
Yeah.
was doing all the things. So I trained with them, learned about transitions, went to a race, and qualified for World Championships. So then I was like, oh, well,
Like
As
you
you
do.
do, yeah.
so then I think I might be a little talented in this. Like we'll see where this goes. But I just entered, I joined clubs so cycled with cyclists, ran with runners, and swam with swimmers. I got a running scholarship to university, and then just became full-time runner. But and then racing with the cyclists or riding with the cyclists, and they always were trying to peer pressure me to be just a cyclist. And then basically in university was the first time I thought that, I could actually be a professional athlete. And I've always loved the Olympics. But basically, if someone had said, you have the physiology and your limbs are the right size to be an Olympic gold rower, I would be like, okay, put me in. Because I just love like the stress and whatever, that your body's so adaptable and the challenge, and I find it interesting. But yeah, in that last year of university, I just entered every race possible, and I had went to some bike races, won against some professionals, and they offered me the little walk-on contract, $0 contract, but just to hang out with the big kids, and they had all went to our best teammates had went to Europe to race the classics, I think. And so we had went to a race and we didn't have our leaders, and they said, well, anyone can win. It's kind of open. So then I did win. And then they basically, the short story is they would give me more chances, opportunities to win. And I did. And then we went to Europe and won Paris-Roubaix.
There we go. Great
And then
question.
I went to Europe and won Paris-Roubaix. What a brilliant end to a story.
Do we have another question?
Any other questions? Oh, up here. Do you want to take my microphone?
Yeah,
while you're going
then I'll go over there for Stephen afterwards. So to go right.
God, there's some logistics to this, isn't there?
There's a lot of logistics, a lot of moving parts.
Greg, so you've transitioned recently to Ironman 70.3 racing and have recently in the slot to Nice, I believe. What's driving that journey? And is a full Ironman distance something you're aiming for next?
He wants to show everyone how good he is on a bike.
Well, what's driving? I always said like I wanted to stay sports, so I was attracted by triathlon quite early already. So I did, running. Of course, I was a football player, so I was running when I was young, and I was swimming at school a little bit. I'm not so good swimmer, but I had like the basics. So I thought like, yeah, it's cool to do a different sport because gravel is really close to cycling yet still, so it gives a bit the same vibe. And triathlon is something, can still improve, especially on the swimming and the running. And I have a cool club close to me also. Like we have like a local club with quite some good athletes, some close to professional athletes. Yeah, it's a cool community with open water swims. So for me, it gets me a little bit out of my comfort zone. And I just like to do that. And of course, last year I was the world champion in my age group in Marbella, which is for me it's not like a big achievement or something I look forward to.
Stop it, Greg.
But, last year I was world champion, by the way, guys, just as you do.
It's not a big deal for me.
Yeah, but compared to the professionals, it's like such a big gap. Those guys are swimming so fast.
No. Didn't you? You rode quicker than the professionals, though.
Not really. I think no. I wasn't going faster.
I'm sure.
So the level is such a you know what it is to take professional. It's a huge difference still, and I'm also not really professional anymore. So, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it, and to go for the full distance, I'm a little bit hesitating because I really enjoy myself, and going for the long runs, it would take a lot of energy away from me. So like for example, you should go running in the afternoon another time, and going over 20-25 kilometers is not something I really like to do. So it gives me a little bit of hesitation. And of course, if I want to go long distance, I want to go it really good. So just participating is also not an option. So I'm hesitating a little bit. So we will see. But I'm just enjoying the events. Like last week, I was in Switzerland, Rapperswil. Super nice course. Swim in the lake. It's such a good feeling afterwards again to have a good result, and it's just a good feeling. So I try to enjoy it, and it's a cool sport to do.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I've roved quite a long way to the other side of this place.
Matt.
Yeah, thank you. To a chap called Stephen, all dressed in cream and white. Stephen, your question, please.
It's for both for Greg and Alison. When you were younger, who was it that you admired most in terms of the peloton growing up? I mean, I was a massive Greg LeMond fan, and that's why I started cycling. So I'm really intrigued as to hear why and who it was that you aspired to be.
Yeah, for me, I guess it would have been our top Olympians. I mean, in Canada, either you want to be a hockey player or you want to marry a hockey player, or you want to be an Olympic gold medalist. And for us, we had Clara Hughes. So Clara is a medalist in speed skating, but also in cycling at the Olympics. And so I think just because she had won on both sides of, I mean, I don't even know if I was really into cycling then, but to be able to be such a high achiever in a winter sport and summer sport, and as a Canadian female, was pretty inspiring.
For me, it was George Hincapie. I just like this kind of style, and also because he was American and he came to the classics, for me was something special. Like, of course, we had our own heroes like Johan van Petegem, Van den Broek, which were great riders. But for me, like, George was always good looking, cool glasses.
Still
not winning too much, but
good suntan as well, mate. He had a great time.
So
great time.
That was kind of cool, the cool guy.
Yeah, he still is, isn't he? What do you think of his new team then and his return to professional cycling?
Yeah, the funny thing, like after so many years, I got teammate with him. So he was my teammate at BMC. I was even rooming up with him, and I was like, this.
Did you love him even more then?
Yeah. But it's kind of strange, you know, when you have a hero and you have to go in the room with him.
Yeah.
Especially when he comes out of the shower.
With such a nice tan.
Making everything awkward.
Let's make it awkward. I don't care.
That's it. We'll leave it.
sorry,
there.
sorry.
We'll leave it with George Hincapie.
Even you're stuttering now.
I
Jesus
can't get
Christ.
through it.
Yeah.
It's too much. Matt, save us, please.
Any more cues? Come on, you got absolute legends on stage. You got. Do I see a hand? Do I see a hand? It's like an auction. Any over there? Certain movements.
Ask away, guys. Anything.
That chap lying down with a lime green top on, did you just move your hand? I think you did. Oh, well done. I'm just going to rove over to you. Look very relaxed indeed. I'm going to immediately unrelax you. First thing that comes into your head, Alison Jackson, Sir Greg of Avermaet, to Avermaet Blythe, and so on. Oh, Dame Orla Chennaoui. You got that right. You got a question?
No, nothing.
How was your ride today?
Oh, absolutely amazing. Yeah, so nice.
What inspired you to come here then?
All that legends that I can't think of a question.
Well, I'll ask you one then. What's it like hearing all these legends speak tonight?
It's unbelievable.
Cool, isn't it?
Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, I love it.
What time did you get here? Because it looks like you're here very early. You've got, it's like the equivalent of
beanbag.
Yeah, you basically have yeah. I mean, right. Anybody else?
All the hard-hitting questions. Thank you, Matt. We do have.
We have a legit. We've got a couple.
We've got two more.
Okay.
And we'll probably then wrap with the dance.
Wrap it up.
Was that
Okay.
Johnny with a question? No.
Well, let's just go here.
Thanks, Matt. Alison, Greg, the artificial intelligence age is here with us now. It's affecting every part of our life. Greg, you're looking from the outside in now. Alison, you're in the thick of it. How much impact is artificial intelligence having in the pro peloton?
Oh, good question.
There we go.
For like data analysis, that kind of thing, training plans.
I can ask Siri for an answer if you want.
Hey, Meta. Well, I mean, sometimes if we think of the AI, if AI is taking over or taking jobs, it can't take my job because it's a very physical. But I do for sure. Actually, the team. I'm on a French team, and our communication is both in French and English, and there's a lot of AI use to do translation. And also, actually, one of our main sponsors, Scratch Labs, our nutrition partner, he has a different connection with. He also does some coaching and performance analysis, and he, partly in California with some developing AI something, which is beyond me. Okay, I'm also not a science person. Even the data after the ride today, everyone was asking me how I did on that Strava segment, and I don't know because I didn't look. I don't check. So I just ride with a lot of heart, and I let the experts do what they have to do, and they give me a good explanation, and I roll with it. But I do know that it is, being used as a tool.
Sorry,
I was just going to mention something very, very completely unrelated to AI. I just saw your necklace, Alison. Says, "Don't think, just do." I love that. Sorry, just come back to her Paris-Roubaix when just spotted it. AI as a team owner, how much are you using it?
I kind of use it for triathlon sometimes, yeah.
Okay, in what
because
way?
I was hesitating to ride a full back wheel in Marbella. That's how serious I still am to approach. So I was actually texting Pinotti about it, and I was also asking AI about it. And actually, the outcome was the same.
Okay.
So they both said ride with a full back wheel.
and did you?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
And
Good.
did it make a difference?
This I don't know, but it gave what they say was like it was actually similar to what Pinotti said, which is always good, to have the human research also. That it was around 1 minute faster.
Also, by the way,
weight-wise, and then the speed and the parkour. So it gives a lot of. You have to put a lot of things in, and then what comes out sometimes is realistic, but also sometimes when you put things in, it's especially if you're a specialist. I kind of know a lot of things already, and if you put then sometimes things in this program, what comes out is not always correct. So
yeah.
it's always good to double check.
Yeah.
But it can be sometimes helpful, especially if you approach an event, especially or like this event, in which group you want to be, and at which pace you have to ride on the climb. It gives you kind of an idea what you can do.
Yeah, it has a lot of good uses. Adam, what did you want to say?
Nothing.
Okay.
I was going to.
One last question.
One more, Orla.
Yeah.
Hi guys. Sorry, the voice. Fan of a lot of you guys up there.
A lot of, just not all.
I was going to say, who are we talking here?
We'll leave it at that.
I'm gonna blame it on the sun and that very long ride today. So as we've seen in the UK, domestic racing has died, which has left a massive gap for a lot of people to get into racing and become the future stars of tomorrow. Do you see that happening in your home countries? And does that concern you? And what advice would you give to us as fans to try to stop that happening? How can we support it more? Yeah, over to you.
Great question. Domestic racing.
Yeah, in Belgium it's still okay. I think we have, of course, some races that disappear, but I think we are still the best. I think if you're not so far away from here, so we see a lot of people from the UK, even talented guys coming over across doing some races, because we have everyday racing. So I would recommend to come over, and I think that's also why we are so good in cycling. We are always number one. We're such a small country, but it really grows from the feet. So it's really like it's really important to feel the race, to have the tactics, bike handling. That's actually what we all learn in the small kermesses, and it starts really small, but it gives in the end, if you do a small race or a big race, it stays the same. You have to try to win or to make a good result. And I think that's the strength in Belgium. And the advice I could give you, try to organize a race. It costs quite some money, but it's worth it, to give people the opportunity to do sports and to make their dreams work.
Amazing for bike riding. I started my career there. So when I was 17, I moved to Belgium, and I raced consistently. I think it was 3 weeks in a year in the summer when I was amateur. You could race every single day for 3 weeks, and I learned everything about bike riding that I need to do, like the business side of it, everything. Everyone's knowledgeable about bike riding here, but even the money involved with it, it's like you learn, I shouldn't really say this, you learn how to sell bike races, win bike races, but there was that side of it, which was a little bit of the dark side, but a business side of things where I learned everything. And the kermesses are basically, for anyone that doesn't know, it's like a long crit race. So it's like a 6-7K circuit, maybe even less. And they increase, they decrease, but they're the hardest races in the world. And then you ramp it up, you got pro kermesses. And a pro kermesse is the hardest race. Forget Roubaix, sorry guys. Forget Roubaix, all that kind of stuff. A pro
Says
kermesse.
the guy who never won.
Hey,
Oh, you're good,
I don't think I even finished either, Alison. It's not even an issue. I don't even think I won a pro kermesse either, but they were the hardest race in the world to win. Yeah, fuck me. I didn't win a lot. Yeah, thanks, Alison.
Just quickly, Adam, to that point, though, what would you say about the domestic UK scene and what can be done to revive it, support it?
God. It's really, the UK scene is really difficult. It's a lot harder in the UK for road closures, etc., all that kind of stuff. But if I was a young lad, 16, 17, I'd just look to go abroad as quick as I can. I think to revive the UK scene, you're relying on something that's completely out of your hands, really. I think I'd love to see it back, but it's predominantly crit racing. And I think it's great. It's good. It's a good show, but it's never going to, if you just do that, it's never going to progress you to what you can be.
And Alison, what's it like in Canada?
Yeah, I mean, cycling is not part of our culture like it is in Belgium, and also I've done so many kermesse racing too that.
Have you won one?
You bet I have.
Shit! Hell yeah!
Didn't you hear my story? I was given the opportunity to win, and I did. Actually, the best kermesse.
I love you, but I hate you at the same time.
the best kermesse I did. After, if you were in the top 20, you went to a second race that was like a cone 500 300 meters apart, and it became just this hot dog race and then an elimination race. But then at the end, you would win a giant check for €1,000, the same prize as
the
winning
Giro.
the Giro.
10 days of the Giro.
I won that, but I won that big
had to be a
check.
hot dog race.
I won that big
overall. £1,000 for overall.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
How much is the men's? You'll know this. How much is the men's?
It's not anymore 1,000.
Oh,
But
Jesus.
I don't know.
It's also not too much. Actually.
It's not so much, I don't think.
It's not so impressive. Also,
I know for winning the Tour de France, I think it's €250,000 for winning the Tour de France, which is a lot of money. Don't get me
Good
wrong,
for
it's not
you.
1,000. How much is the women's though?
Bully for the boys.
How much is the women's? Do we
I
know?
don't know, actually.
For the women's Tour de France, do you know how much?
20 or 25.
Shut up.
Yeah, we need a lot more support. Hey, boys. Yeah?
Don't
Shout about
don't
it.
look at me, I'm not rich. Jesus. Wow.
We can chat
Sorry.
about it, we can watch it, we can celebrate it.
No, but I'll tell about
Sorry,
racing in
Alison,
Canada.
sorry.
Sorry. Because in Canada, it's not a cultural sport. So, and it also, we saw a big decline around 2020, but a bit before in the Canadian and American racing scene, and a lot of races went away. Tour of California, we had, I mean, there's a few races reviving. Philadelphia had a World Cup, and then a few other smaller UCI races. But a lot of European teams used to come and race over our way, but then that has really stopped. I would just say that whenever I tell younger athletes, there's a few that I mentor. Really, if you can ride, I mean, any type of bike. So as a junior, also you don't have many events, but ride the road, ride track, ride cyclocross, because the more time you spend on a bike, the better skills you're gonna get. You're also gonna have more events. You're gonna see more finish lines, and that's all in that learning to become a better bike racer. And also, you can spread out the pressure or the fun. You have different environments. I think what we see in Canada and America with the road racing kind of dying, but then the gravel scene has really risen. And the crit scene used to be really big. And I think that's also a great spectator event to have, and a little easier maybe to manage putting on an event. And then otherwise, I also think there's a few places in the UK, right, where they have a cycle track, like Kent. Right, has a cycle track.
Got a few things like Hillingdon, Kent,
So when you have create hubs like this that also, safe for kids or anyone who wants to start something new, because I think if you have cycling in the family, so whether it's adults or kids starting, I think then it brings in community and more people involved in riding bikes. So that's sort of what I would suggest also for Canadians.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Matt?
We've got one final question.
Okay,
from the founder
Okay.
of LeBlanc itself, Mr. Justin Clark.
So my question, Greg and Alison, is Greg, when you go back to Belgium, you talk to your Belgian friends, and Alison, when you go back to Canada or Girona and talk to your Girona friends, how would you describe the Isle of Wight for riding? Is it good? What would you say?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been amazing actually. I said always it's not so far from Belgium. It's an easy travel here, and I'm super happy I said yes to this, because otherwise probably I would not discover. And it's an amazing place, great views, great riding, and probably I will get back to here with my family, and especially in the UK. I'm a big fan actually about the culture, and it's so close to Belgium, but it's such a big difference, and I think it's
nicer, isn't it?
We'll not go there.
Depends if you're in town or not.
Yeah, that's fun. It's just fun.
And Alison?
It's a lot of laughing, cheeky rascals.
I also think the riding is really interesting, up and down. We different scenery of the coast, and then also some sort of in the forest and these little towns, I think, that are almost preserved in a really cool way. But I don't know if I would suggest people just to come here on their own. because I think what's so nice about riding here is like all the people that it's been so fun to ride and meet new people, and I think that's what a beautiful part about cycling and the community and this event. So
amazing.